registering for the MD Workforce Training Program, you may as well contact us and register yourself. You can register individually or as a company. Of course, this entire program is funded by MDEC. You will get 50% of exam incentive from MDEC as well. Please do visit MDEC MD Workforce website for more information. All right, next, we are also an HRD Corp registered training provider. Guys, let me take this opportunity to welcome you into HRD Corp training programs. This is sponsored by HRD Corporation. So for those of you guys who need guarantee pass, you need examination, you need certification, training, please do contact us. We will guide you. Okay, as for now, we are basically in the NTW National Training Week CCNA training program. This is CCNA practicals with 12 workshops. Yesterday, we looked at 2. We looked at basically how to set up an environment in Packet Tracer. We have configured IP address routing protocol. Today, I'm going to take you into switching environment. So basically, you can expect that each and every day, you're going to learn one module of the CCNA and get yourself ready for the examination as well. So as such, please join this session. Do not worry for those of you guys who have missed the first session. As long as you are in the session, in the group, in the Telegram, in the WhatsApp, I will give you guys the recordings for you to prepare for your CCNA and get yourself certified. So for that, I welcome everyone to join the sessions and to benefit out of these programs along the way. Okay, this is actually a Cisco Certified Network Associate. Originally, this is a 5-day CCNA training program. Of course, 5 days workshop, you have to be in the training center. But we are giving to you in a virtual environment for 2 hours a day for the 5 days time. Well, I hope that this will give you enough exposure and introduction to CCNA before you attempt your examination and also to learn the subject. What you have to do is you can download the outline from our website. It's a 5 days program, guys. So 2 hours a day, just allocate 2 hours a day of your time. Now, for those of you guys who do not join all 5 days, I'm not going to give you the full recording. So every day you need to clock in and clock out. The system will calculate your attendance. Based on your attendance, it will give you the video recording because this is a very unique program. We would like to make it exclusive. Okay, so I hope yesterday, for those of you guys who have not attended, to be able to get the fundamentals, CCNA practical course outline. What are we learning? We are basically learning how to configure Cisco routers, use Cisco software, identify network design, switches, routers, configure access list. Okay, these are the basic things that you're going to do in an network environment. I'm sure not all of you guys are going to be in the network and industry, but it is good to have the knowledge about the network. All right, day 1, day 2, it's basically consists of a full day program. We have created a compressed program for those of you who register under HRD Corp and other initiatives with us, a 2-day program which covers entirely the scope of the CCNA. Okay, so if you have gone through the CCNA scope, all right, that's good. Kindly register yourself, subscribe to Aksara. Because based on my experience, guys, every year there is a new certification, every year there is a new offering from the government. Working with HRD Corp, MDEC, Mitra, and all the other government bodies, I'll be able to share with you guys if there is any new offerings. And finally, thank you so much. Subscribe, like, follow, share Aksara United in Facebook. And thank you so much for your time. Now we're going to start the session for today.
Hi. Can I
Hi.
ask few questions? I'm Revati here. I just noticed that at the beginning of the session you have mentioned that you are not will mean not getting a certification of attendance. Is that correct?
No, you will get certificate of attendance
Right?
to participate in the program. However, certificate of achievement, basically what we call as The official certificate from Cisco will only be issued by Cisco once you finish the examination. That is why that is not included.
I see. I get it. So definitely we're going to be getting the certifications of
Yes.
the attendance, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All
Don't
right.
worry.
All right.
As part of this program, yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Hold on a moment. I'm going to load today's session. Give me a moment, guys.
Uh, Excuse me, Mr. Kamal.
Yes.
I just want to clarify about the certification part. So you mentioned that we will get the achievement certificate once we completed the exam, right? So
Yeah.
does the exam includes in this program, or it needs to be taken separately?
No, man. Exam is $300 USD. You will have to register yourself online with Cisco. That's why I've actually yesterday showed where you guys register for that. But that is
Yeah,
not the part
because
of this. Yeah, we will prepare you for the
unfortunately,
examination on this session, but unfortunately, exam is not covered, mate. I'm sorry. Not at this National Training Week program. We have other programs where you would benefit from getting the exam vouchers, but not on this National Training Week. They're not offering that. Sorry.
all right. Thanks, then.
Okay, I'm going to open up the slides for today. Give me a minute, guys. Okay, basically what we looked at yesterday is basically a network environment. So today I'm going to show you on configuring basic switch, management using Cisco. All right, what is this all about? Briefly, yesterday I introduced you guys about networking. Now, when I talk about networking, obviously in networking environment, what we have routers, switches, we have end nodes like computers, laptop, desktops, mobile phones, servers. Now, these are basic equipments always you see, right? So as a CCNA candidate, among the first thing that we would be doing is configuring a switch. So when I look at a switch, what is a switch is all about? Switch. Okay, if I look at a switch, similar like what you see earlier on a router, switch is just that most of the time you do not configure. Why? Because switches got many layers, We got dumb switches, we got smart switches. What do I mean by dumb and smart? Dumb means you can imagine that these switches um, they will function as they are. Plug and play. But smart switches are those that you can configure. You can configure. So it doesn't mean smart switch, they will do themselves. You can manage them. So Cisco switches are among those smart switches where you can manage them. You can create a user account, you can log into them. Then when you log in, there is a couple of configurations like how you access them via telnet, SSH, VLAN, using a default gateway, using a static IP address, or maybe you want to use a dynamic IP address. So whichever way you want to connect to those devices. So that is what we're going to look at, number one. After that, we're going to look at the configuration inside of the switch itself. When I say configuration inside of the switch, okay, look, what we're going to look at this point is when I log into Cisco switch, some of the configurations that you would do is like, for example, what are you going to do in the switches? Are you going to configure IP address for switch? No need lah. Switch is plug and play, right? Then no IP. Okay. Now, if you want to configure IP, can. That is because you want to manage the switch remotely. Otherwise, you don't need to give it an IP address because they know how to do what to do. Well, what else you can do? You can configure speed. Duplex mode. You can configure some description value on the interfaces of a Cisco switches or any switches per se. So if I configure them with the information like I want to have it in a full duplex, then it will follow. You want to have it half duplex, you want to have it 100 meg, you want to have it 1000 meg. Now this is a way of, all these are mostly cosmetic. Configure description. You write lah. You want to know what is happening. But you know what? As an engineer, network engineer, I don't care actually. All I want to see is I want to know what is the configuration. So once I'm in the Cisco switch and router, things that you would do like, you would enable an interface, shut down an interface. Yeah, you got to know how to see the interface. Yesterday I show IP interface brief command. There's also show interfaces. The interface ID status command. This is for switch, show running configurations. These are all commands that you can use. You want to know what is set up. If you want to remove configurations, if you want to add configuration. So basically, this is what you do in a Cisco switch. All right. However, a little more advanced than this. Today, I'm going to take you more into also looking into virtual LAN. So just now what I told you is all imagine. That's what a Cisco switch do or any switch do. Now, I told you you're going to configure something, right? What are you going to configure? You basically going to configure virtual LAN, VLAN. There are two types of VLAN, guys. VXLAN and VLAN. I'm sorry. If until last year, I would have taught you only VLAN. Today, because of the latest software-defined network, SDNs, and network virtualized environments, we also have to look into the next VXLAN. The one, of course, thank God, not covered fully in CCNA, but it does comprise the part of the leaf spine architecture VXLAN. So later on, we'll look into that. Now, VLAN. What do I need to know about VLAN? Okay, let's look at a VLAN. VLAN is basically, if I want to block computers to talk to one another, I create VLAN. Actually, they are connected to the same switch, but I just don't want them to talk to each other. Maybe finance group, maybe sales group, like that. However you wanted to have it, either in a single location, multiple location, using a trunk, using, maybe separate locations, using a router, using multiple switches. Okay, how are we going to do this? That's what we're going to look at, configuring it. First, basic, we're going to look at VLAN configuration. So I hope this gives you an understanding. Next, all these are part of the VLAN configuration. So that's why I'm going through a little fast. Banyaklah benda kita boleh buat dalam VLAN configuration. First, let's do the VLAN configuration. Yesterday, I showed you on the packet tracer. So I hope those of you guys who have not registered for cisco.com, Cisco U Skills for All and Learning Network, please do register yourself, enroll for the Cisco packet tracer, download Cisco packet tracer. You can join the program together using the Cisco packet tracer. Okay, today we're going to look at the switching configurations. Tomorrow we'll move on into spanning tree, rapid spanning tree, IPv4 subnetting. Then the next day onto IP routing, OSPF, VIGRP, IPv6, and so forth. So today we're going to look at switching, guys. So for next 2 hours, get ready to get bombarded with informations about CCNA. Like yesterday, I've already shared with you guys where can you get the informations about CCNA lectures and notes. For those of you guys who have not got the access to the videos, I will share with you guys the access today at the end of the session. Stay tuned. Now, let's look at today's topic, switching. Okay, let me just bring a switch. Can you see on the left hand side here go switch? I'm going to bring in 2 switches, left and right. So basically, what does the switch do? It allows me to connect devices together. Now, if you understand in your environment, usually you have a top layer switch, and then below them you might generally have a couple more switches, like one over here, one over here, one over here, and one over here, interconnected, probably using a cross cable between switch 2 to switch 0. And then one more from switch 0 to switch 1. Then one more from switch 1 gigabit to switch 2 gigabit. You notice that, I'm trying to unfortunately connect between gigabit and fast Ethernet port. Yeah, I did connect here. One side gigabit, the other side fast Ethernet. So what will that be?
Sorry, want to
Both
ask.
side gigabit, then you get gigabit link. One side fast Ethernet, one side gigabit. Can you see my screen, guys? I hope so. If you have any questions,
Yes.
okay, please do ask me.
Sorry, want to ask.
Yeah, please.
When do we use cross and when do we use straight cable?
Okay,
How
when
to
do I
determine?
use cross cable? When do I use straight cable? Put it very simple. I use cross cable between similar devices. I use straight cable between different devices. Okay, now there is an exception here. Switch. Switch generally connects all the devices. So that means you use straight cable. When I connect to a switch, straight cable, straight cable, straight cable. But now, sorry. Look at the design here. When I connect switch to switch, you use a cross cable. So I'm going to bring an end device here. Let me bring you a laptop on this side, one more laptop on this side. One laptop over here, one more laptop over here, and then connect these laptops. Now, this one is you must use straight cable from the laptop to the switch. See here, cross between switch cross. Laptop to switch straight. Laptop to switch straight. Laptop to switch straight. So I hope you do understand this. And then one more thing I want you guys to notice when I do this is that, can you see there is, green link and there are some which are in orange color. I want you to notice these two as well. What is this? Is basically, the link when it is green color, fully functional. When it is like this, maybe the device belum lagi fully update. Now sudah update. Belum lagi fully turned on. Network connection has not been established. Imagine like that. So once all these has been correctly established, okay, now you can see the my network. Again, I repeat, where do I use straight cable? Where do I use cross cable? Kalau switch to switch, cross. Switch to device, straight. Switch to laptop ka, switch to mobile ka, switch to server ka, all these, switch to firewall, straight. But switch to switch, cross. Sir, what if I want to connect router to router? What if I want to connect laptop to laptop? I don't want to use a switch. Then you use cross cable. See, what does the switch do? The switch does the crossing for you. Cross. So in between switch, you must use cross. But when you connect to the out devices, end devices, straight. Okay, I hope that makes sense. All right, let's move on, guys. Now I'm going to configure the IP addresses for these laptops. Before I go further, let me just give you an outline. On the left, we're going to have one network. All right. On the right, I'm going to have another network. Now, this is my two networks, right? All right, let's look at the network. So I have two environment. As I can see, even if you look at this, isn't this looks like a tree to you? It's like, akar, naik, atas. However, they get joined together. We call this spanning tree, guys. This is called span tree protocol. So in switch, jangan salah faham. It is not like a switch is a dumb device. It is dumb if you are dumb. But if you understand the functionality of switch, you can manage the entire network. So I'm going to introduce to you what are the switch they do. So first of all, I want you to understand they establish neighborship, switch to switch. They know left and right which switch is connected. They know which computer is connected to which port. I can see from here when I click on the switch, there you go. If you use packet tracer, you use your mouse lah. Then you can see all these. Okay. But of course, that's packet tracer. But in a real environment, mata buta tada nampak. So you have to do on your own. So what we're going to do now, we're going to configure IP addresses. On my left-hand side, I'm going to give it an IP address. So let's say this one will be 10.0.0.0/24 subnet. And on my right, I'm going to use 20.0.0.0/24 network. Okay. All right. So with that, you should know I'm going to use the laptop 0 with IP of 10.0.0.0 laptop. Two also same. Laptop 3 and 4 will be 20.0.0. Let's go in the computer. Desktop IP. What's the IP? 10.0.0.1. 255.255.255.0y/24. Guys, today I'm going to show you about switching. For those of you guys find this new, bear with me. Now I just configured a computer on my left. On the right, again, one more. Desktop IP. This will be 10.0.0.2. 255.255.255.0. No need to put default gateway for this computers at the moment now, because the objective is to make sure that they cannot talk to one another. See, now this is the main thing. See what is going to happen from laptop 0. You know the IP. Remember just now I gave you the IP. Huh? I try to talk to the guy 10.0.0.2. Isn't that the second computer? You can. So what you must understand is now you are talking to the second guy through the switch from here all the way up, down to the switch. Okay, can you see the traffic? It goes from the left, up, down. Now, similarly, if a switch is connected to another switch and that switch is connected to another switch network, and there is no VLAN. Okay, I'm talking about no VLAN. So laptop 3, okay, let's say the IP address. Well, isn't it supposed to be 20.0.0.1 or something like that? Because it's in the 20.0.0 subnet, right? But you can also have additional IP, right? Like secondary IP for your fast Ethernet. You probably have to configure. So you can also have a secondary IP address for your devices. And if that is the case, what you will notice is, yes, even though different subnet, they would one way or another be able to communicate with one another. Let me just also configure the last device. Desktop IP 20.0.0.2. 255.255.255.0. Okay, so practically what the logic is, I can only talk to left devices and right devices by themselves. However, the communication is actually going to happen through the switches. You see, from laptop 0, I go to switch 2, I go to switch 0, I go to switch 1. Then if I want to talk to laptop 1, I go to switch 5 and then laptop 1. Now, this is what is known as switching. So for a switch, it will allow for you to talk to everyone in the environment, left to right, top to bottom, full the network. But condition must be met. Number 1, they must be in the same VLAN. Number 2, same subnet. In this scenario, I already put them into different subnet. Even if I have them in two different subnet, they still can talk. VLAN is like a next level of protection. Meaning if I use VLAN, left and right cannot talk to one another. So that is what it means. So to demonstrate this, I'm going to show you one more computer, which is going to be on the left-hand side, connected to the switch from here to port number 2. Okay, so let's just remember this guy. He gonna be in environment separate than the rest of the network. So I'm just gonna put him in like let's say 10.0.0.3 since it's still available. All right. Okay. Now, if I've configured correctly from left, I can go to command prompt from the left, open up the command prompt, and I'm going to ping 10.0.0.3, isn't it? The 3 is the third guy on the network over here, this new laptop. Succeed or not? Let's see. Request timed out. Unfortunate the first time. Request timed out. Voila! Succeed. No, basically, because I just created the device, I just connected, I just gave it an IP address. It does need to take some time to propagate the information from here to the switch, to the switch, to the switch, to the switch, before my laptop 0 basically can talk. This is called ARP protocol, Address Resolution Protocol. You will come to learn all these things in CCNA in full module later on, but as for now, I'm just introducing to you. Okay, now, we've already showed you what it means by switching packets, allowing communication across the network. Only routers will prevent this, but routers expensive, more configuration, more knowledge. So here, no, I don't do much work. It's plug and play. However, in the switch itself, if let's say now you want to configure them, so they can talk to one another, even though they are in a different location. So I'm going to do what? Let's show to create VLAN first. That means I'm going to create VLAN 1 here. This is going to be VLAN 10. And on my right hand side, I'm going to make it into VLAN 20. All right. So let's see how we're going to do this. Go to switch. Okay. On the left hand side, on the green side. Okay. Here. See, basically, right, this switch here will never belong to any VLAN. Why? Because he is not connected to any computer. He is connected to all the other switches. So what is he going to become? Let's look at that. All right. Config T enable. Yesterday I showed you the command. Guys, this is not a full CCNA training. I'm not going to teach you step by step, unfortunately, because we have very limited time. So I hope you can pick up the commands from all the notes that's available in our Telegram group. Also, in our WhatsApp group, join our WhatsApp group and Telegram group to give to get yourself posted with the latest updates. Otherwise, follow through. All right, now let's look at this enable. Now I'm going to do what? I'm going to configure VLAN, right? Where am I? I'm on the top switch. So in VLAN configuration, basically you don't do anything on the root switches, but you do on these guys on the bottom here. So this one left. Okay, let's say number 1 on the left hand side. Configure this guy. Enable config T interface FA. Go to the interface FA01. Why this is the interface that the laptop is connected? So go FA0/1. Switch port mode access. Enter. Switch port access. VLAN. I'm going to make this a member of VLAN 10, remember? So VLAN 10, enter. So this command will create VLAN 10 in your environment now. So I hope now you understand how I attach a device. So also you can see here the moment I attach VLAN 10, the interface is turning into amber mode because it's setting itself. Now let's configure the next switch on the right hand side here. Here also, this guy. Command line, enter, enable enter config T, enter interface FA0/1. Now, I hope you understand why I say FA0/1, the one that's connected to the laptop too, right? Enter switch port mode access, switch port access, VLAN 10. That's it. Association of port to VLAN has been done on the left. Now, let's do it the same thing on the right hand side for these devices. Laptop 3. Okay, for laptop 3, I'm going to go to the desktop. I'm going to go to the, sorry, not to the laptop. I'm going to go to the switch. Yeah, switch 4. Go to the switch 4, command line, enter, enable, enter, config T, enter, interface. Now, the interface that we have to configure over here is FA0, FA01, FA01, FA01. Okay, interface FA0/1, switch port mode access, switch port access VLAN 20, right? We chose to put VLAN 20 on the right. Okay, so I've just associated this particular computer to VLAN 20. Then let's go to the right hand side here as well. Next switch. Command line, configure, enter, enable, enter, config T, enter, interface FA. So easy, right? FA 0/1. All right, FA0/1, FA0/1, switch port mode access, switch port access, VLAN 20. All right. And I got another one more interface in FA02. So for this guy, interface FA02, which is connected to the laptop, I'm going to leave him in VLAN 10. I'm going to show you some different setup. Switch port mode access, switch port access VLAN. Put him in VLAN 10, but physically is connected to the switch on the right hand side. So I hope you understand what I've done. I configured all these guys with VLAN 10 membership on these switches. I configured VLAN 20 membership on these switches. Then I segregated over here VLAN 20 and 10. Only one overlapping network over here. That's okay. That is purposely done like that because I want you to know how, okay, how this device looks like. My bad. Allow me to share again. Okay, so I hope you guys can see my screen. So I hope you understand this. Here, I have one weird network over here, you know. This laptop. Let's bring it out from the environment. So laptop 4 is actually not in VLAN 20, but it's actually in VLAN 10. VLAN 10. So can. So we're gonna see how does this works. Hold on a moment, guys. All right, so let's look at this diagram here again one more time. What have I showed just now? In a moment, we looked at environment where we have on the left and on the right VLAN 10 and VLAN 20. But there's one laptop which is on the far right, but actually in VLAN 10, but connected to the switch on the right. So now that's what we want to do. We want to test this environment. See, the number one requirement is the connections between the switches. These must be trunk ports. This must be trunk ports. So what do I mean by trunk? Let's look at them. So I'm going to go to the switch 1. GI01 and FA01, right? Config T, interface GI0/1, switch port mode trunk. Same thing, interface FA0/1, switch port mode trunk. So easy. I just converted these two to become trunk. Obviously on the left, okay, here GI01 also must make the same thing. So let's go in, interface GI 0/1, switch port mode, trunk. Go to the next switch here, this guy GI01 also. Interface GI 0/1, switch port mode, trunk. So I'm making the link in between all these to become trunk. GI02, interface GI 0/2, switch port mode, trunk. All trunk, all trunk. On the right hand side, let's do it. Same thing, guys. Let's hit the button. Command line. Now here I gotta do for GI01. Enable config D, interface GI 0/1, switch port mode, trunk. Switch port mode, trunk. Switch port mode, trunk. Okay. All right. So I've now made the link between the switches to become trunk. Of course, I got to do the FA01 and the GI02. And so let's go in. Interface FA01, switch port mode, trunk. Interface GI 0/2, switch port mode, trunk. I'm just, fast running it. What I've done is I just converted all these interfaces to become trunk in between the switches. And then here also, this one also must do. What is this? FA GI01. Enter. Interface GI01, switch port mode, trunk. The last, this one. Okay, interface GI01, enter. Interface GI01, switch port mode, trunk. So some of you might wonder, what the hell am I doing everywhere? I'm typing the same command. But guys, you have to understand, this is switches. Beside the configuration on the IP addresses on the computers, laptops, you also have to configure the switch. So basically, switch got only two configuration. One, on the port, tell it what VLAN. On the point between the switch, tell it is a trunk. Now that if it works correctly, from laptop 0 on the left, you will be able to ping laptop 4. Okay, even though they're different VLAN, 10.0.0.3. So that is the challenge for the session. Now I've showed you a lab. I hope I'm going to give you guys 10 minutes of a break time. Please go and demonstrate, try to repeat this if you can. And when we come back, we're going to ping and test the connection to see if my configuration correct or not. Okay. All right. So thank you so much for the time. And I'll catch you guys in about 10 minutes time. All right. Glad to have everyone back in the session again. And I noticed some of you guys on the LRT and MRT also joining. Guys, don't worry. I'll make sure that the recording is given to you guys as well. It's in the Teams as well. Only thing is that it takes about some time to get it processed as a link. At the end of today's session, I will share with you guys. All right. Okay. Now
Sir,
let's
I have
recap.
question here. Huh?
Yeah.
So actually, yesterday I joined via like a guest, so I'm not sure my attendant is went in or not, and how can I get the recordings? Is sent to like email or where is it stored?
Guys, please join the Telegram group and then the WhatsApp group. I will share the link where you can get the link for the recordings on the Telegram group and the WhatsApp group.
Okay,
Okay?
sure. Can.
So just in case, because if I tell you, if I share you now also, you're gonna miss it. So the WhatsApp group also good luck because everyone using WhatsApp. That's why I create WhatsApp group. But WhatsApp is more problem because you only have a limited number of history. You join late, you don't see the old message. So I have my Telegram group also. So go to the Telegram, you see everything in my past. So you can see our CCNA history from those early days until now. And then WhatsApp is like, if there is any new current information, I will share with you. You can also, message me in the WhatsApp group or in the Telegram group. Mana jalan lah kawan. But if I don't reply, paham sajalah sibuk sikit. All right, let's move on, guys. Now, what we're going to look at is we're going to look at the VLAN configuration. So I'm going to recap a little more again, one more time, what we have done here. Can you see? I have main switch on the top. And then I have two switches below them. All right. And then I have one device connected to each of these switches, except the last one having two different devices. And I configured them into VLAN 1 and 2. Actually, VLAN 10 and 20. And then this guy, surprisingly, I put him as a member of VLAN 10, but he's actually, if you notice, like as though in a VLAN 20 environment. So that's what we're going to investigate. So if from laptop 4, can I talk to laptop 0? Let's see. Command prompt. Remember the IP address 10.0.0.1, right? The first guy. If I hover my mouse on top like that, also I will be able to see the IP address. A little bit difficult, a bit, never mind. $10.0.0.1, correct? Okay, all right, just to confirm. So now what we're going to do from laptop 4, ping 10.0.0.1, correct? And you know what my IP, right? 10.0.0.1. 3. I'm 10.0.0.3. Now I'm going to talk to 10.0.0. Can I, from here to here, can I talk to each other? Of course can. Let's see. But it's going to take a little longer time. First time fail. Oh, cannot. Because why? Not directly connected. Must go through one switch to another switch to another switch. Finally, maybe. Oops. What's happening? It didn't get through, man. Oh, shit. Technically, it's supposed to get through. Lah. Now, FA02, we put it into VLAN 10.
Hah? Kayak gitu. Tahu? Hah?
Hello. Guys, I hope that if you have any questions, you can also put it into a Telegram group or you can put it into the WhatsApp group.
Sorry. Hello, sir.
Sorry, you are mute. Sir, you are in mute.
Sir, you are in mute.
Sorry. Now I'm not mute anymore.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Can you share the WhatsApp group and Telegram group link because I didn't get the link.
Okay, I'll share with you guys in a short while. Yeah.
Okay, sure. Thank you, sir.
It's already in the email. You can check the email. There is a link.
Oh, okay.
See,
All right.
see, technically now, right? From here to here, ping suppose should succeed. Let's one of the advantage of packet tracer. If you don't know how, you can also simulate the environment. Okay, if I simulate the environment like this, let's say I'm going to simulate from device laptop 0, try to ping 10.0.0.3. I want to know what's happening. Let's see the packet is traveling now. So I'm also going to show you step by step how the packet travels. First it goes to switch 2. Then it has to go to next switch 0 on top, but not yet reach destination. Switch 0 must transfer it to switch 02. Unfortunately, what happened is it failed somewhere over here. Okay, there's some problem between the switch left and the right. Let me just troubleshoot this now. Let's go to GI02, enter, enable, show interface trunk. So I want to see the trunk interfaces. So GI02 is a trunk, 01 is a trunk, FA01 is a trunk. Yeah, all three of them are trunk, correct? What about on the right hand side? So let's check this out. Show interface trunk. FA01, GI01, and 02. Okay, practically all of them are trunk. So where is the issue? Hey, let's just check again on the switch port. It fails at gigabit 02 at the switch.
So is it because you didn't create the VLAN on switch 0?
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Yalla. Thank you. All right. So now you understand. After configuring VLAN, after looking at the configuration, there's next level for us to go, guys. This is where we're going to look at the VLAN domain. Or in VLAN domain, what basically happened here is the switches on the left, they're all had been configured. Yes. The bottom switches, they know about VLAN 10. The bottom switches over here know about VLAN 20. But the top switch here, both, they don't know about VLAN 10 and 20. That's okay. Because why? Even if they do not know about VLAN 10 and 20, I've already made the interfaces to become trunk. As a trunk port, all VLANs will be allowed. Technically, this is not wrong as well. Okay, never mind. What's the problem? Huh? Let's just also, okay, now I'm going to show you what else we can troubleshoot on each of these environments. So while we want to know the issue, let's do what? Let's get the switch to ping continuously. You know dash T, right? Dash T means ping continuously. Hey, don't have a ping this one don't have okay lah, then no choice, ping one by one. If it is a normal desktop, you can just ping dash T and let it loop. Okay, never mind. Now what we're gonna see now, it's what's happening between these switches. So let's first look at this guy, the first switch. So on the first switch, I'm doing now switch investigation already. Show MAC address table. This is one of the things that we do first. Why? I want to know. Laptop 0 punya MAC address, have I learned them or not? You see this MAC address here, which is FA01 connected to port. You can see FA01. It is in VLAN 10. And it has a MAC address of 000 something. Correct or not? Let's verify over here. ipconfig /all. You can check between these 67C5 and then 67C5. Betul lah? So what does that tells me? Adik-beradik, dua-dua sama MAC address. Now let's go to switch on top here. Also go to the command line. Show MAC address table. Do we find the number that we're supposed to find earlier? 67C5. Got it now? 67C5 missing. So something is missing in between these guys. Did I configure the GI01 to become a trunk port? Let's double confirm. Show interface trunk. GI01 is a trunk port. Correct lah. The other guy, show interface trunk. GI01 is also a trunk. So it's a trunk and a trunk. However, okay, to explore into the next possibilities of VLAN, let's also look at the VLAN domain lah at one go. So for that, I'm going to go to the switch one. What we're going to do, config T, okay, VLAN, VTP domain. So it's not called VLAN domain, it's called VTP domain, VLAN trunking protocol. I'm going to call this CCNA, VTP domain, CCNA. We have some more. We can configure the mode, the password, the version. Tak payahlah, cukup lah, domain cukup. Let's just configure password so to make sure that they can talk to each other. VTP password CCNA. I've configured this first switch. Now let's also configure the next guy. Okay, this guy. Enable config T. VTP domain, CCNA, VTP password, CCNA. Right, that's what I gave earlier. Remember? VTP domain CCNA, VTP password CCNA. So we have configured this. We have configured this. Let's also configure this guy. Okay. Switch port mode, trunk, sorry. Config T, VTP domain, CCNA, VTP password, CCNA. What am I doing? I'm putting the switches all in one domain. Panggil nama CCNA. And I'm also telling them to use password called CCNA to verify each other. You can have different password, normally something else. Domain is like mycompany.com. But for this practicals, for this lab, I can do whatever I want. So please follow through. All right, we have done the switches on the left. Let's go to the right. Same thing. Config T, VTP domain, CCNA, VTP password, CCNA. Go down. Same thing. Enable, config T, VTP domain, CCNA, VTP password, CCNA. Short form, if you notice, always I like to use short form. Why? Boleh pakai short form, pakailah short form. Why not? All right, last one, I think. Enable, config T. What is the command? VTP domain, CCNA. Give me the name. Small letter, big letter. VTP password, okay, CCNA. Actually, there's one more VTP mode. You can also specify there is two modes, client server transparent. Don't disturb this. Later on, we will explore this. Okay, let's now look at laptop 0. Try to ping the guy across. And look at what had happened. Now the ping succeeded. So what did we do different? I put all the switches into one VTP domain. So what did I do different here? I created a VTP domain, all right? And then a password, of course. What does a VTP domain and a password do? Allow us to do? Allow the switches to talk to one another. So they all talk to one another and they have made a connection between each other. So from laptop 0, I can talk to laptop 4. Remember, laptop 4 cannot talk to laptop 1 or laptop 4. Double confirm. Let's see. Double confirm. Let's see. I'm going to go to the computer at the bottom. Command prompt. Let's see if I can talk to 10003. Well, number 1, cannot lah. My IP already 2000 something. 20 and 10 doesn't talk to one another. But they are like, what? In the same switch, isn't it? This and this in the same switch. No, this is a different switch. So maybe different switch. Okay lah. What I do, I go to the guy who is connected to the same switch. There, laptop 1. So from the laptop 1, let's see. Let's see now. Now, somehow or other, I must be able to talk to the neighbor. What? The guy is just sitting next to me. Ping. No, I know I'm not going to get a reply. You know why? Because my IP is 20. His IP is 10. What if I change my IP to become 10 as well? That's one thing that you can do. Another thing is, look at the ARP record. Okay, show ARP. ARP-A. No entry. See, what actually happened is, sitting in the same switch, actually laptop 1 and 4 cannot talk to one another. If I'm in laptop 4, see, ARP-A. Even I can see 10.0.0.1 across the network. See, if I get the laptop 2 to ping the guy, ping 10.0.0.3, right? The far guy, right? Okay. Now I go to this laptop 4. I look at ARP record. See, I now can see 2 people. But the 10.0.0.2 and 10.0.0.1 is in this segment. The guy next to me, laptop 1, MAC address, I cannot find. That's what a VLAN is. You just now looked at VLAN configuration, guys. Any questions so far? I will let you to ponder for a moment. Next, what I'm going to do, I'm going to configure Ether channel trunking protocol. We're going to look at STP and RSTP. We're going to look at the port settings and configurations. So I'm going to give you 15 minutes of a break time. Then we'll continue at 7:25. Any questions so far? Now you need this file. I'll share it with you in the Telegram group. You can take it from there. Okay, the break starts now. Now it's 7:10. So I will see you guys at 7:25.